Hello everybody, it's Anne from Stampin'Up. Welcome to another gorgeous card making day here in Simcoe, Ontario. It's actually World Card Making Day today. So if you can make a card, go ahead and do it and send it off to somebody. It'll just make the day. Well, we're going to make a fall themed card today. We're going to use the Changing Leaves stamps. Now the Changing Leaves has stamps, dies, embossing folder in it, and all in the suite together. We're just going to use the stamps today, and we're going to do a technique called Emboss Resist. So I'm going to turn the camera down, I'll show you what we're going to use today, and I'll show you the technique. So this is the Changing Leaves lovely fall set. Doesn't have to be used for fall, but it's got some beautiful leaves that look great in fall colours. It comes with the stamps, the dies, and the embossing folder. So it has lots of good parts in it. Lots of lovely dies, and the dies, the big die that's in there overlays the center of this embossing folder. It cuts and embosses at the same time. Now we're not going to use that today. We're going to just use stamps and things today, and we're going to do some heat embossing, and it's called Emboss Resist. So let's get started. We've got some supplies here. Oh, and before I forget, if you would like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, it is StampsNTea, and it's all card making and craft making. So alright, back to the supplies. We have 8.5 by 5.5 pumpkin pie coloured cardstock, scored at 4 1/4, makes your standard card. I've got a card front which is going to be cut down to 5 1/4 by 4, and I've got a piece for the inside which is going to be 5 1/4 by 4. Now I haven't cut this down yet for the front because I'm going to stamp it and colour it and then trim the edges. And you know, sometimes when you're heat embossing and everything, you don't quite get to the edges, so that's what we're going to do. We've got a piece for a sentiment and a backing for the sentiment, and we've got this piece of lovely copper coloured cord which Jackie Vandersar gave me last weekend as a prize when I went to her fall retreat, which was an absolutely fabulous weekend, let me tell you, in St. Jacobs, Ontario, and that is going to work beautifully on this card. So I'll just put that off to the side. We'll put all these pieces off. Now I'm going to bring in some scrap paper because we're going to get messy. We've got this piece of basic white, 5 1/2. It's actually 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 right now. We're going to end up cutting it down. We have some lovely fall colours. We've got crushed curry, pumpkin pie, real red, and granny apple green. 4 lovely fall colours that will make a lovely background. And we've got the blending brushes. So let's put those down. I'm going to start with the real red first, and I've just got a little red brush here, and what we're going to do, I'm going to just colour my paper, my card. Now I want the colours to be quite dark because you'll see why. And then I'm going to just do little splotches everywhere just to clean out the brush. Okay, so that's real red. Then we've got crushed curry, which is a lovely darker yellow colour. And again, I want it to be, you know, I want colour in there. I don't want to just give a little wisp of colour. I want it to be vibrant. I want it to be dark. We've got some pumpkin pie here. I'm going to do the same thing again. Whoops. And when you rub the pumpkin pie over the real red, it goes kind of rusty coloured, which is nice. That's a lovely fall colour. And then we're going to add in a splash of Granny Apple Green, just for little bits here and there. And I'm not wiping the colour off my brush. I'm just really scrubbing this card hard to get some little bits of green in there. And see, that's quite dark and it looks messy, but that's okay. That's the look we need for right now. Lots of nice colours in there. There. And I'm just going to stop there. I can colour and colour all day. And the more colours you add in, you know, you can make it look quite muddy. And we don't want it to look muddy, but we do want lots of nice colour in there. Okay. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to take our stamps from the Changing Leaves set. We've got this really big stamp, which is it's a really nice one. We've got 3 leaves there. We've got a maple leaf here, and we've got a sentiment there. But these are the 3 leaves we're going to use. All right. So we've got. Maybe you can see them better if I turn them that way. 3 lovely leaf stamps. All right. So we're going to stamp those in Versamark. Now, the problem when you're stamping in Versamark on this piece of paper, you're not going to really see it. So I'll show you what to do so that you can sort of keep track of where your leaves are. Okay, I'm going to use the big one first. Now, because it's a big stamp and you know it's hard to put that down into the ink, I'm going to lie it down flat on the table and take the ink pad or the Versamark pad to the stamp, which is, you know, the opposite of what we usually do. We usually take the stamp to the ink. And I'm going to just put that down somewhere. Now I really should have my foam mat on here so that I get a good impression. So I'll do that in just a second. Right. Now I really cannot see where that stamp was placed. I can hardly see it at all. If I take it and hold it up to the light and try and turn it a little bit, I can see where my outline of my stamp is. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. I would like a couple of maple leaves on here. I mean, after all, we're in Canada. Who doesn't love maple leaves? And we're going to put, let me see where I can go. Okay, I'm going to put one on this corner. I'm going to do another maple leaf. Where am I going to go? How about right down here? Just get that one on the end of the stamp, and then this one with the 3 leaves on is such a pretty leaf stamp. Now I need to pick this up again so I can see where I'm going to put this, and it's going to go right on the top corner, I think. I'll go around that maybe. There. And can I get another one on? Yep, I can get one on the bottom corner. Yes. Right there. Alright, so let me just put those stamps out of the way, and we're going to bring in the clear embossing powder. So I just need to make some room here. Get rid of this. Okay, clear embossing powder, here we come. If I turn this, I still don't think you can see what I've stamped, but you will see them when they're heat embossed. So let's do the trick with a clear embossing powder. Now, what I did forget to do was rub my Stampin' Buddy over my paper, so there could be some little bits of stray parts, if you know what I mean. Now, I know I was quite heavy with that, but I need to be heavy. I want it covered, really well covered. Come on, stand up. There we go. Now can you see where I've embossed? And this is clear embossing powder. Now I can see right away that I've got a lot of embossing powder here around my leaves. I'm going to give it a flick. Trying to hold my card straight and dust off, just brush off the excess with my paintbrush. That looks alright. Looks like I've got some nice impressions there. Okay, let me just put that down. I'm just going to pour this embossing powder right back into my container so it doesn't all blow away with the heat gun. Right, get the lid on this, and then I'm going to bring in my heat gun. Now, as you know, the heat gun is noisy, so what I'll probably do is I'll probably start the heat embossing when the heat gun warms up. I'll start the heat embossing and then I'll cut a bit out of the video so you don't have to watch the whole thing. So here we go. And once I get started, you'll start to see these leaves change. They go from a dull powder, here we go, to a very clear image. And you can see the leaves changing. Okay, now I'm just going to lie it down. Now I'm going to turn it so that I can have a look, and hopefully I've got it all. I'm just going to hold it down and go over the whole thing a couple of times. Trying to get my fingers out of the way of the heat gun. There. So I'm just going to give that a second to cool, and then the fun begins. What we're going to take now is Memento Black. Okay, now I'm going to spread this across the card, and when I spread it across the card, the parts that have been heat embossed are going to resist the black Memento ink. So if I can get the lid off, we'll get started. Okay, so here we go. And it is a bit messy on your hands, this, but you know what? It makes for a lovely card. So when I'm happy that I've got all of this covered nicely and a nice even black look to it, I'm going to take a piece of kitchen paper towel or a Kleenex or something, and I'm going to wipe. Okay, and I'm just going to wipe up the card like that, and you see you're bringing the black off the leaves. There. And there is your, let me move this so you can see something looking half decent. This is your card front. There. Now I need to trim this, so I'm going to bring in my paper cutter. Now you see how I have a couple of nice leaves down this side? I'm going to trim it off on this side so that I want it to end up at 5 1/4 by 4 for the front of my card. So am I going to take a 1/4 inch off there? Yes. There. And then I want a 1/4 inch this way. I think we'll go this side. There, 5 1/4. So that was why I left that piece of cardstock a little bit larger than it needed to be. Now while I've got the cutter here, I might as well cut this piece down to 5 1/4 by 4 as well. This is for the inside of the card. Oops. There. Okay. So let's put this card together. Now, the piece for the inside and the envelope we could decorate, and I think we should. Just a little bit, nothing too much. Another little trick I'm going to show you is I'm going to take 2 stamp pads here. I've got the pumpkin pie and the crushed curry. Let me put these over here so I can work on them. There and there. I'm going to turn this way. Oh, let's stamp on the front of the envelope. So I'm going to take, how about we take the maple leaf stamp, this one here. We'll take our blending brush again, and I've got some pumpkin pie here, and I'm just going to put some colour on, and I'm going to put it up the centre of the leaf. Nothing special, just rub it up and down the centre of the leaf. Okay. And then I'm going to take, I better close that, the crushed curry, and do the same thing but on the outsides of the leaf. Okay, so you've got a 2-coloured leaf there. So we're going to stamp that. Let me just, did I do it in Kleenex? There it is. I'm just going to clean around this stamp because it got a little too much ink on it, and hope I don't get it on the card. There's the envelope stamped. What have I got here? Yellow. Give that a little extra colour, and then a little more orange in the centre, and we'll stamp the corner of the card, the corner of the insert. There. So you end up with 2-coloured leaves again, or multi-coloured leaves I should say. I don't mean 2-coloured leaves. There. Get the Kleenex out of the way. So there you've got a nicely decorated envelope and a lovely little same leaf that pulls it all together. So then let's just pop this on the front of the card. It's dry, it's solid. I have just my regular tape runner adhesive. And because I cut it down, I should have about 1/8 of an inch, I think, all the way around this card. Up just a tad. There. There. Oh, we didn't stamp the sentiment. That's what we forgot. We've got a little sentiment stamp that says, "A little note to brighten your day." Now, what colour do we want to use? I think we'll use the pumpkin pie for that. Lovely. Put that over there. We'll get that closed off. So we'll just give that a minute. While that's drying, we can put the piece on the inside. This lovely stamped piece. Making sure I've got no adhesive sticking out from the sides. There. Give it a good press. Okie dokie. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to trim it. It's a little big, I think. Let me just snip the corners off, just like that. I'm just going to trim a little bit off the top. Now this is why I use my big scissors for this, because you can get all the way along the piece in one cut. Right. There, we're going to back this onto a piece of orange pumpkin pie cardstock. So I'm just going to turn this over. Make sure I've got no adhesive sticking out from the side. Come on, tuck in. I'm just tucking the ends of the adhesive in, and I'm just going to line this up on this piece of orange cardstock right in the bottom corner here, so I don't have to trim too much off this. Try and keep it straight. There. So you've got a lovely little sentiment just like that. Now on the back of that, I told you I have this lovely piece of copper coloured cord, and it is actually copper colour. So I'm just going to double it over like that. I'm going to hold it at the loop and put my threads down, so because I want to keep it flat so my threads look flat. And I'm just going to take and run a little bit of adhesive along there. And I want it to go the same way as my sentiment does, you know, so I'm going to go down there like that. Try and peel my thumb off or my fingers off. Make sure this lies down nicely. Bring it back up. And then back down. Whoops. There. So I've got a little bit of a messy loopy thing going on, and this loop I'm gonna snip, and that I'm gonna snip because I've got edges there, and then I'm just going to take a little piece of tape to cover that because I want it all to stay in place. Just a little piece of tape like that. There. I'm going to put this up on dimensionals. There. We'll give it one more in the middle, why not? There. Press it down hard. look at the front of my card and find a spot to put it. Now I've got leaves that overlap there, so what I'm going to do is put my sentiment right here to cover that, just like that. And that is the card and envelope for today, and that makes a really pretty card and envelope. I love the colours in that. I'm happy with that. Nicely stamped on the inside to match the envelope as well. That's the card for today. So there it is, today's card and envelope, all nicely stamped to match. Now that's my card. If you want to copy and share, please do so. Just say where you saw it made. And if you sell your cards, please put the Stampin' Up angel stamp on the cards, which just says all the supplies used are Stampin' Up supplies. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great week. And it's Card Day, National Card Day, so make a card today and send it to somebody. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next week. Bye bye.